Hey everybody, welcome. I'm super excited to be here. We're finally here. The Antietam National Battlefield Visitor Center is soft opened, right? And to talk about a little bit of this and take you through it, here's Keith Snyder, National Park Service. Keith, how does this feel?
It's awesome. We have been working on this project for 940 days. It's been quite the challenge. The Visitor Center was originally built in 1962, had lots of problems, and we spent the last 2.5 years fixing those problems, making it more accessible, and hopefully a more exciting visit to the park.
Good, good. So as we're going to walk in there, people are sort of greeted with a different sort of experience right when they get here.
Well, part of our goals, we not only redid the building, we have all new exhibits, and part of our idea was to create a visitor experience from the moment you parked your car, all the way in and through the building. And so some of the new items we have is a Civil War timeline, this interpretive sculpture which depicts an event that happened in the historic cornfield, all giving a place to kind of think and ponder and even rest with your family before you head to the building.
I found myself lounging on one of the new benches. Let's walk on in, Keith. I'm excited to see all this. What's something, just while we're on the way in, what's something that really stands out that you're excited for people, for our viewers to see?
Well, we certainly have some new exhibits, some new artifacts that have never been on display. I know many of your viewers know about the Elliott map, the burial map. That's on display for the very first time in the building. That's a highlight of our exhibit space. So some new items that we haven't been able to show before.
Good, good. Well, I'm really excited to check it out. This is one of my favorite battlefields. It's in the top 3 for sure. And I've been looking forward to this for a while, but I just closed the door on the cameraman. That's Andy behind the camera.
I got it.
And man, you can already see a lot of differences here. I'm seeing a much more open situation
Definitely.
here, right?
We wanted to create more open space so that the visitors have an opportunity to spread out and get ready for their visit.
Good. You come late in the day and you are greeted with numerous National Park Service employees and volunteers ready to help you out. I'm amazed at how much more open it is. It's bigger, right?
Yes, it is. We moved the front of the building out from basically here another 25 feet.
All right, good, good. And I think right away, I'm drawn right away to this, and I see something new over there. What's going on here?
That's our video wall. It's about a 15-minute production, just to introduce you to the main park themes and the beautiful sights of the park.
Wow, I'm just seeing already the resolution on this. It's just incredible. It's sort of immersive.
It's not even the final version. It'll go one level higher of detail.
All right, good, good. So just so y'all know, we're not trying to replace your visit to Antietam. You not only have to come here and check out the battlefield, but we're only going to give you a taste of whatever it is that lies downstairs and upstairs. But were we to go down the hall there, I believe we would see a film. The final film's not quite done yet, right?
Yeah, it'll be done in December. Right now, we're showing the current film.
All right, so you get orientation down that way, cool new bathrooms to the front. Let's check out the bookstore real quick. Oh, man. Look, we're being approached right here by some of the staff. This is a really nice facility here. If I'm correct, the proceeds, from this store directly help the park.
Oh, absolutely. They're a great partner. Eastern National runs our store, and a wonderful partner. This is all new. We've also incorporated our interpretive themes in this space, creating a much higher level of use and visitation.
All right, good. So we've got 2 more things to see where we'll spend a little bit more time here, and we've got an all-new museum downstairs, and we have the sort of viewing platform upstairs. So let's go on down here. Keith, it's my understanding that in the bookstore and in this museum, you're sort of taking it by section. There's sort of pillars to your approach.
Well, one of the great breakthroughs in our exhibit design process was, we're thinking, how do you organize this space? And what we decided upon was to use 5 universal concepts, the essence of the battlefield in our story. And those 5 concepts, each has a section within this
I see it here.
exhibit
Conflict
space.
is one of them?
Conflict is the first, terror, survival, freedom, and memory. And if visitors, if that's all they gain, that's good. That's the basic essence. But casualties is a big part of our story. This is our casualty display where you can look at different geographic locations of the battlefield, and as the soldiers go out, represents the different areas of the park.
So somehow, and you get to see at a word, which were the most costly places for the actual soldiers who fought here. And then they come back for the next visitor. That's pretty cool. As we're over here, so this might be sort of leading up to the battle. Is that right? That's what conflict is?
Well, one of the things that we were trying to do a better job of is explaining why 100,000 soldiers were here killing each other. And that story starts with the pre-war experience leading to secession.
Good, good. And that's pretty interesting because here, Antietam not all battlefields can speak as directly to secession, to emancipation, to one of the turning points of the Civil War. People like to point to the fall of 1862 as one of those possibilities. So I think this is an important lead-in.
Yeah, good background. And this is the right place to do it here at the Visitor Center.
Ooh, and right away we're starting to see some objects here now. This, I don't really remember this from the old museum.
We had it kind of tucked in the corner, but one of the things we try to do in each of our key themes, it shows you how presentation makes a huge difference on what your experience is. And so that's a fence rail embedded with bullets from the field.
I never noticed it before. Now, I'm seeing other things we're not showing you all today, to be sure, but here we've got some of the weapons of war, obviously some of the projectiles, and of course, some of the look, touch, and feel. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a new thing in the visitor world. We're trying to create some tactile experiences for those who like that, some detailed maps, and then people learn in different ways. So we do have an audio station with 6 voices from the battlefield that you can listen to, because some people learn more audibly.
I think it's really cool. Antietam is known for its post-war, post-battle photography, but here you're making some very effective use of a famous photographed scene, the Hagerstown Pike there, but in the drawing, showing those men living and fighting.
Yeah, well, art is an important part of the story. In fact, we have a whole exhibit inside about how memory was captured through art.
Good. I always like, when you incorporate the music, it looks like Medals of Honor as well. Pretty cool stuff.
We have 2 Medals of Honor in our collection, and this is an opportunity to see those.
Stuff to see and touch. Check that out.
We have to protect these. These are very, very delicate objects, and so the light only comes on when you view them, and then you let that drop.
Very, very cool. That's neat. I'm sure all kids will like that as well. And of course, you've got to have the obligatory saw when you talk about the horror.
And of course, we're very excited to have our Elliott map. First time on display.
Good.
Once again, grouping the battlefield in these key areas of the field around the burials and around the action, showing the casualties and the burials and the relationship to that.
Some of y'all might remember, it's been just about 3 years actually.
2020.
Since, Yeah, this came to light. You haven't seen the video yet, but we went and visited this map up at the New York Public Library. The real map is only this large. It's great to see it so large and getting, just in time that this thing was sort of discovered or digitized just in time for somebody to finally use it, and you all of all people.
We're very fortunate.
And it really lays out graphically, so we're sort of standing right about here, and you can see that right out in the front yard of the Visitor Center, each one of these hash marks is a Confederate grave, and you can see Union graves as you go further north. Those are those plus signs there, and there's a lot on our website if you want to learn a little bit more about the Elliott map. A very effective tool. Very cool.
And now we'll make a transition out of the survival into our freedom and memory story, which for us is almost as significant as the battle.
And it's not lost on me that it looks like you were covering a good amount of the civilian story there, and then you get into this sort of the war still going on, and you've got millions of slaves.
And then we partnered with the Tolson's Chapel, because when the enslaved were freed in this community, the first thing that they sought out was education and religion.
Right.
And that's clearly represented in one of our partners, the Tolson's Chapel. So a couple of key artifacts there, a reading book and an inkwell from the Tolson's Chapel.
Good. I like that you're bringing it full circle here. There are people like me who, given the chance, would talk about the blood and guts of battle and Civil War photography all day long. But I know even on my tours, that's not what everybody wants to hear all the time. They want a more complete story.
Much broader story.
All right, we don't want to give too much away here. So I see more touch and feel things here where you can get into it. Is this?
That's a Bible from Nancy Camel that lived here on the battlefield.
I thought this was the original Dunker Bible for a second.
That's over there.
Oh my God, so we're not going to show it, but we just walked right by the actual Dunker Church Bible, the one that was there during the battle.
Absolutely. And then we have memory, which is the soldiers' post-war experience, and the creation of the National Cemetery, the creation of the park. That's a whole nother story in itself.
And I love just the use of the wartime and post-war photography throughout the space. It's I can't believe I'm standing in the same room, actually. It looks really neat. Over here, and of course we've got the reconstruction of the Dunker Church with some original elements. That's a great story we hope you'll learn about just in time for the 100th anniversary, even as we're at the 161st.
And speaking of the church, one of my favorite new artifacts that has never been on display is an original shingle from the Dunker Church, painted with the Dunker Church by the Mumma family, who originally owned the property the church was built on.
Wow, so it's a rendering of the church on a piece of the church.
Correct.
And is that a wooden shingle?
Yep.
Oh my God, it's incredible. And I'll tell you what, is this the light
painting
or does it look
restored.
better? Okay, it's been restored.
It's been completely restored. Also, the first time ever we had Captain Hope, who was the artist of this work.
Wow, I've never seen his picture.
Here's his photograph and his sword, never been on display. That's been in the park collections waiting for this.
Well, I think you've used used this space pretty well. Here's a photo taken right outside this visitor center practically.
And photography is a big part of our story. We have a 3D viewer. You can see the images in stereo inside our viewer.
So I think this will be great for young people to see and for older folk, let's say. I'm
Who
not
like
saying that's
photography.
you and I who like photography, but harkening back to the Viewmaster days.
Exactly.
Which is directly connected to Civil War photography, actually. The same company that was putting out stereo views ultimately would go on to become Viewmaster. Why don't you go first, sir? So
We'll head upstairs.
Yes, we'll head upstairs, which I've always thought is one of the gems of this battlefield. I don't know of another battlefield that has quite the view that you're about to see. Let's see what we see up here. You're with the American Battlefield Trust. We are checking out the Antietam Visitor Center here after it's been closed for 900 plus days. Ooh, all right. Well, the view still rocks, I'll tell you that.
This is the best room in the park by far, and the interpretation here is minimal because the view is the story in this space. However, we did add a few items identifying some key Maryland campaign, and then we put in this tactile map so you can get a sense of the campaign. We went for the campaign level primarily because this is one of the few spots anywhere in the country where you can see the entire campaign from one location. You just can't do that at pretty much anywhere except here.
You're right. When I have tours here, I'll often stand outside this facility and point to Harpers Ferry and point to Frederick, Maryland, and point to points north as well.
Now you can do it no matter what the weather.
Yes, exactly. I like this. Right away upon walking in, the first thing I'm greeted with is the approach that you use on top of the Bloody Lane Tower. And that is, what some people call dumb tech, the simple pointing out of what's where and how far away it is.
Absolutely.
I think that's very effective. Now, Keith, I'm somewhat curious, actually. So we can see some of the construction materials around, some of the straw and whatnot. You still have some stuff to do, is that right?
Yeah, we're not quite done. We had to have our, what we call our soft opening. We still have some punch list items, a few things to clean and fix up, but we had to get out of our temporary building because that's leaving next week. So we had to get into the
Nobody's going to lament that, the loss of that building.
We were pretty excited when we were in there just to have a space. It was better than what we thought. But
Yes.
So that'll help improve the view shed, and then we can start making those last minute corrections and changes.
Good, good. That's great. And I would encourage you all, come to the Antietam Battlefield. Check out the new visitor center. Share the idea with your friends. And then if you're in this room, and if you're a Trust member or supporter, you can look around and see, literally see land that you have helped to preserve. And we'll probably make a separate video about that. Keith, anything else to add?
No, just we're looking forward to people coming back. We've been, since pre-COVID, since we've used this building, 3.5 years almost.
And I remember when we were first talking about this, we couldn't even stand this close together.
No, so that's nice too, isn't it?
Yes, it is, in most ways. Keith, thanks so much for taking us
thing.
around.
Nice seeing you, Garry.
Andy Poulton behind the camera, thank you so much for watching and for supporting Battlefield Preservation and, you guessed, education.